Dear students, we are moving to the next lesson, that is the fifth lesson of civics, that is judiciary, and we can see the structure of the lesson first. Then we will start the lesson. First we can see judiciary, what introduction, then which building it is. This is the Supreme Court building. Then we can see the what is the role of the judiciary. Three major roles are the dispute resolution, judiciary review, upholding the law, and enforcing the fundamental rights. Like that, three major roles are there for judiciary. Then what is an independent judiciary? How is it in India? We are having the independent judiciary, or what it mean, or how they are functioning, like that. Then the what is the structure of the court, that Supreme Court in the means the capital level or the national level, and this high courts in every state level, and the district courts or the local courts in the every district. Then we can see the some of the things how they are helping us, public interest litigation, like that things. Then comes the branches of the legal system that we used to hear, like that: criminal law, civil law, and criminal lawyer and civil lawyer, like that. That is the two major branches of legal system. Then we can see, does everyone has access to the court? Each and every people, if the child or say senior citizen are like that, any people can go and approach or not. That is the next part. By that lesson is completing, then exercise it is coming. So very small lesson, very few concepts are there, only major 5 concepts, that is very easily you can understand, not that much big issues. First one, it is the role of the judiciary. Before that introduction, a glance at the newspaper provide you a glimpse of the range of the work done by the courts in the country. If, nowadays it is not available newspaper, that I know, but if you are reading newspaper, some cases will be there, and what is the means judgment given, like that things it is coming. And but can you think of why we need this court? Is it needed or not? Like a parliament, why it is needed? That is to help us, to guide us, like that. And in this second unit, we studied about the rule of law. What is the rule of law? We studied in last unit, and that's why we are going to continue with that law. That is who is interpreting the law? That is by judiciary. And what this means is that law apply equally to all persons, and that a certain set of fixed procedure need to be followed when a law is violated. Means what we are going to do here, the law apply equally to all persons. In rule of law, we studied that one, the rule is applied for each and every people, and if somebody is violating that one, then there will be a fixed procedure to correct he or she. And to enforce this rule of law, we have a judicial system. What is the duty of the judicial system? To enforce or implement the rule of law. And we have the judicial system that consists of the mechanism of courts that a citizen can approach when a law is violated. Whenever our laws we are violating by somebody, then we can approach the court. It may be criminal or it may be civil, anyway, or it is related to our fundamental rights. Like that time also we can go to court. And it can play this role only because it is independent. Why we are in each and every people, when we are facing the problem, why we can go? Because it is working as a mechanism where we are getting the decision when others are violating the laws. As an organ of the government, judiciary plays a crucial role in the functioning of India's democracy. Who is interpreting the laws making or the amendment of the constitution? Who is interpreting it? It is by judiciary. So what does an independent judiciary mean? Is there any connection between the court in your area and the Supreme Court in New Delhi? Like that things we are going to get answer in this lesson. And we said, like, this is the Supreme Court building. Again, it is given picture here also. Supreme Court of India, that website also given. And Supreme Court was established in 26th January 1950. What is the importance of that day? That day we become made our India as a republic one, and we adopted, accepted our constitution. The day India become republic, like its predecessors, the Federal Court of India 1937 to 1949, and it was the earlier located in the chamber of the Prince in the Parliament House, and it moved its present building to the Madura Road in New Delhi 1958. The building we made as a Supreme Court, and we started to functioning in 1958. That is in the Madura Road in New Delhi. So we are going to see the what is the role of judiciary. Court takes decision on a very large number of issues, not only one, many issues. It may be the when we are making the land issues, or your education issues, your health issues, everything they will take consideration. They can decide that no teacher can beat a student, or about the sharing of river water between states, or they can punish the people for particular crime. Means all these things, even in the inside the school, what the teacher should do, what teacher should not do, like that things also they will decide. They will give the guidance, or they will make the law or judgment. Broadly speaking, the work of that judiciary does can be divided into the following. We can make it the work of the judiciary to three major heading. First one, dispute resolution. Second one is judicial review. Third one, upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental rights. Please learn once again, read with me. Dispute resolution, judicial review, upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental right. So we are going to see the first one, dispute resolution. The judicial system provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between citizen and the government, between two states, state government, and between the central and state government. The dispute, there will be a problems, conflict between two people, or citizen with government, or two states, between two states, or between one state and the central. In each and every time, who will give the decision, or who will take the initiative to solve that one, that doing by the court. That is the first duty of the judiciary or the court. Second one, judicial review. As the final interpreter of the constitution, very clearly, please underline that particular sentence. As the final interpreter of the constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down particular law passed by the parliament if it believes that these are the violation of the basic structure of the constitution. Listen once again. If the as a final interpreter of the constitution, the judiciary also has the power to strike down, to stop, or to close down, for what? To a particular law passed by the parliament. To make a law, parliament having the many procedures that we know already, and they want to get majority voting and other things, and first it will decide in the Lok Sabha, then Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they will sit together, then it will go to the table of president. Like that procedures we know already. All these procedures over, then also court can say like that, stop it. And if it believes that these are a violation of the basic structure of the constitution, when it touch the basic structure of the constitution, that time court will say it is a violation, or we should stop it, and this is called judicial review. For example, last year we have heard like that the citizenship bill, that's why the strike was going on everywhere. Now because of this corona stopped everything, and the discussions what the court said, that was in the end of the March, that also stopped because of this pandemic, and they may take it out when we are free from this disease. Nowadays we are in crucial situation. Every day it is 50,000. It is almost like this Italy or more than that nowadays, equal to America. That is the condition, and the death rate also it is increasing every day. So after that they may take it. That is the second duty of the judiciary, that is giving the judicial review, give the review or the explanation of the law, what the parliament made, it is a wrong thing or it is correct thing, like that decision taking or giving the judgment. Then third one, upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental rights. What they want to do, they want to uphold what are the laws taken is there in the constitution or made by the parliament, that they want to uphold, they want to keep it up as it is and enforce or implement the fundamental rights, or want to give maximum right to the people what is given in the constitution. Every citizen of India can approach Supreme Court or the High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. Please underline, we can go directly to Supreme Court and High Court when our fundamental rights somebody is taking away, or when we are getting the violation in our fundamental rights, directly we can go to Supreme Court or to High Court. Then for example, in the class 7 book you read about Hakim Sheikh, an agriculture labor who fell off from the running train and injured himself, and those whose condition got worse because of the several hospitals refused to admit him. We read that story and we know what happened. Then why after becoming when he become all right, he approached the court for helping, because many hospitals, 7 hospitals, they said like that we can't admit you, even government hospital also. So he is asking that one that we read in 7th standard. Then on hearing his case, the Supreme Court ruled that Article 21, please underline Article 21, which provides every citizen the fundamental right to life. Article 21 very clearly saying about the article of fundamental right to life, also include the right to health. And that is Article 21 says about the right to life. In that, what is it is included? Right to health also included. It is therefore directed the West Bengal government to pay him compensation for the loss suffered, as well as to come up with a blueprint for primary health care, which a particular reference to treatment of the patient during an emergency. What the government said, the court said, first they want to give the compensation to the patient. Second one, they want to make a blueprint about primary health care system, or what all treatment they want to give, or how they should make the reference, that details they want to give, like that who said, the court said. So what are the duties of the judiciary? Once again, dispute resolution. If there is conflict between two person, or state to state, or state to central, or individual to state, then solve it. Then judicial review, give the information to the government as well as to the people if the laws taken by the parliament, if it is touching the basic structure, violating the basic structure of the constitution, that is known as judicial review. Next one is upholding law, keep up the law and enforce the or enhance the fundamental rights for the common people. So in that, what they are doing, we can directly approach the Supreme Court or High Court for the when we are getting the violation about our fundamental rights. So then we can see the activity given here. With the help of your teacher, fill the blank space in the table below. Type the type of dispute and example it is given. Okay, dispute between sender and a state. Example we want to give in which condition normally the central and state getting the dispute, why they are quarreling each other, maybe in the financial share or in the like that administration, like that in different area they may fight each other. Dispute between two states, very familiar we are that one, because Karnataka and Tamil Nadu means having the conflict between the Kaveri river water problem, and Kerala and Tamil Nadu having the dispute between them because of this Mullaperiyar water problem, like that. So many examples we are having. Then disputes between two citizens, it may be land issue or like that teasing, like that many issues. Then laws that are in violation of the constitution, the problem is the laws that are in violation of the constitution, like that we are not allowing the people to walk means there was a walking path and we are closing down, we are saying like that you can't use this way, this is my own land, like that situation we are violating the fundamental right of the person to move freely, that one right to move freely. Or if you are not giving education to the children in the school, that also against the fundamental rights, against the fundamental rights, like that right to study or right to get educated, like that things. So you can write, I given some of the examples, you can fill it. Then what is an independent judiciary? Why we are saying like that Indian judiciary is independent one, or what, how we can explain that one? Imagine a situation in which a powerful politician has encroached on a land belonging to your family. Within this judicial system, the politician has the power to appoint and dismiss a judge from his office. When you take his case to court, the judge is clearly partial to the politician. We are here given the one imaginary story, like that one politician is there and he is very powerful, he is taken our land and he is having the power to appoint as well as dismiss the judge. And when we are reaching to the court, surely we will get a partial judge, because that is appointed by this politician. The control that the politician hold over the judge does not allow for the judge to take an independent decision. This lack of independence would force the judge to make all judgments in favor of the politician. Although we often hear of rich and powerful people in India trying to influence the judicial process, the Indian constitution protects against this kind of situation by providing for the independence of the judiciary. What the politician done said that story, in that we are seeing that one, the politician having the power and he is appointing the judge, and the judge is taking the decision for the politician because he is not free. So what we are making, we are many days we may heard like that rich people, they are influencing the court and they are getting the judgment according to their favor, like that. But Indian constitution, it is protecting against this kind of situation. It is giving the protection to the court to should not follow like that, should not be corrupted. But we can see some of the corrupted members in the society, even in the court also we can see. One aspect of this independence is the separation of power. How Indian court is becoming independent one? That is, it is separate power, means it is not the part of the government, it is not the directly part of, it is a organ of the government, but it is not part of any state government or central government. And this as you read in the chapter 1 is the key feature of the constitution, means we are making the separate power. The legislature and executives, they are working almost together, but the judiciary, they are working separately. That what this mean here, that other branches of the government, legislature and executive, cannot interfere in the work of the judiciary. They are working together. The legislature will make the policies and programs and laws, and the executive, they will execute it, but they can't interfere in the work of the judiciary. The court are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. The court is not under the government. If the Prime Minister is doing something wrong, then he want to undergo the trial and the decision taken by the supreme court. That is the condition, means all are before law. Even judges, they are doing something wrong, they also want to go face the all the conditions what is there in the court. For the above separation to work well, it is also crucial that all judges in the High Court as well as the Supreme Court are appointed with very little interference from these other branches of the government. Normally the appointment, it is doing by the central government. Supreme Court as well as High Court, judges are appointed by the central government, but they can't work with them. That is the once the appoint of to this office, it is very difficult to remove the judge. If once they appointed the judge, then it is very difficult to change the judge. So we can see that when the judges, they are working very freely, and it is the independence of the judiciary that allows the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by legislature and the executives. That's why what we are, the appointment, it is in a different way, and dismissal, it is not possible, or to remove it is not that not a easy task. That's why the independent work of the judiciary, it is that allows the court to play a central role in ensuring, that means giving the enhancement or surety to the people. There is no misuse of power by the legislature and executive. The legislature as well as executives, they are not interfering, they are not giving any trouble to the, or they are not giving any compel, they are not coming and misusing or abusing the court like that, we can say, because of they are working in an independent way, and we can see they are playing a major role also. It also plays a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of the citizen, because anyone can approach the courts if they believe that their rights have been violated. Sometimes we want to appeal the case, we want to file the case in front of the court, and they will call. Sometimes court will they themselves will take up that one, some of the issues, social issues or individual issues, they will take up too, because they understood like that already fundamental rights or the basic rights already violated. Okay, we'll continue after your test is coming, that you know already, and I think you got the information, and you will get your portion and timetable within 2 days. Then we will continue the lesson after that. Thank you. Have a nice day.